Alright, I'm not gonna drive further. That road is just like, whoa, that's something. Gonna stop here and have a little chat. Alright, I'm gonna unplug this. I always plug the jackery when I'm driving so we can get some power. So today on this snowy vibe day, I thought I could cover like a question that I got a couple times. I made a video previously, but I think I want to cover a little bit more. If you don't know, I spent 3 years without any heat inside my van, and previously of that I was living in a car. Only had what's in the front, if you want, never had anything in the back. I just put a Robusto heater this year. I'm still not using 100% because of the battery are weak and I need to change them, which is coming, by the way. Very good news. But yeah, currently I don't sleep with the heater on, and I still do what I used to do before. Just now that we have a little bit of heat coming once in a while, but I wanted to cover everything. So if you are planning on living in the van this winter and you don't have any heat and you worry, or you have to move in your car because you have no other choice and you worry too, I want to cover this. And I think it's good for those of you too who live in the house. If you are obviously living in a place where they have like cold winter, you never know, you might be stuck in the highway, no way to get out, and you may need to spend a night or a couple hours inside your car, and you may want to have a couple of tips and little safety kit if you want, so you don't freeze your beep waiting for some rescue. So I'm gonna cover everything today. So one of the main thing when you have no heat inside your van is to make sure that you have a nice warm bed. When I sleep at night, the colder that I slept was -15, and I didn't have any heat, like I said, and I was totally fine under my blanket. And I want to show you because it's got a couple of little things other than just a sleeping bag. So let me pull things away. Oh, and I hide a couple of things. So one of the main things I talk about in a couple of videos, to have something warm to the touch. Those pillows are just the regular fabric. They are cold to the touch. This is warm. This is just a blanket that I put on top of my mattress, and I have another those warm blanket at Walmart, nothing fancy. So this will be really nice to touch, really warm to the touch, make a huge difference. Okay guys, after that I have my sleeping bag. I think my sleeping bag go all the way to -10, something around this. This is a good quality, and I don't sleep inside. I just put it as a blanket. I don't like sleeping inside the sleeping bag. And I have another little duvet. This is my summer one. It's not that warm, just a little bit more like a pretty if you want. And I have this quite heavy little mini blanket that I think my grandma made at one point. But this really like puts some weight on everything and keep like everything super warm. So you really need to make sure that you have a lot of blankets, a lot of warm blankets. And I think this is something that everyone should have. Even if you have a nice warm heater and you have all the electrical that you need to spend the winter in your van, have more blanket that you need. Those blankets that I don't use in the summer, I put them in the pillowcase so they don't take a lot of space. So you can do that as well. And if you are in emergency or if it's getting too cold, you can just grab one of those blankets and be extra warm. And before I give you more tip and I go a little bit further, I want to say a big thank you to Jackery for sponsoring this video. This is my little battery that I start with Vanlife. This is a 240 watt. This is so useful, guys, that you have one of those extra battery. If you do have a good electrical, maybe you want to keep one of unit like this fully charged, so if something bad happened with your main electrical in the middle of the winter, you can plug an electric blanket here. I wish I had that in my car. Unfortunately, they were not available here in Canada at that time, but they are super useful. You can plug electric blanket. You can also charge your cell phone and device. You just have to press the little unit here and this will light up and this will be on. So you can also put some lights and everything like this. So thank you so much, Jackery. And I think I still have a little discount for you. In the description I'm going to put everything, but I think you have still 10% discount using the Cat Lady Van in the checkout. So if you are thinking, still before Christmas, maybe you want to spoil yourself or give a little gift to someone, and this is also really good if you live in a house, so you can, you know, if you lose power, you have some extra one here. So thank you so much, Jackery, to sponsor this video. So speaking of electric blanket, I don't have an electric blanket actually with me, but I do have this little heating pad that, you know, when you have a back pain or something like this, you can plug this. This doesn't use that much power, guys, and is super warm. Like, you can just put that on medium. I have 3 settings on this one, medium to high, low to high, sorry, and just on medium, it's good enough to warm me up. One of the main key I'm going to tell you to not be cold in the winter in your van is to have warm feet. This is so important. And a little heating pad like this can be super useful. Or you can get yourself also a 12 volt, a cigarette lighter, electric blanket. I think they sell them in like car supply, like Canadian Tire here in Canada, or most likely online on Amazon, I'm sure. But this is the best one. Don't get the one that you can, like the actual one that you plug in like a regular plug, just because they take too much power. So I heard that the 12 volt is way better, so you can plug that in your cigarette lighter if you don't have any electrical inside your van, or you can plug this if you are a little system on the 12 volt as well, or one of those Jackery also have a 12 volt. So another trick that I was using, those heating pad. If you live in a cold area, you probably saw those one. This one is like a bigger one, go usually on your back or something. It lasts 18 hours. So those pads, I used them so much the first year. I used them when I was in my car once in a while to warm up my feet or to warm up myself. Super warm. They stay, like I said, for the whole night. But I used to put them as well on Kelly's little bed, so she had a nice little warm place to lay down. So super useful. And this doesn't take place, guys. If you are, you know, in your car, in your van, just grab a pack and you are good to go. If you need to warm up, you have a little something at least to warm up. There's also the water bottle that you can put some hot water inside. I tried this once when I was living in my car. I personally didn't like it. The reason is the whole night I was worried that the bottle will open, and I was like, just imagine that in my bed. I was like, oh, what I'm gonna do if that just leak. And after a couple hours, to be honest, it was not warm anymore. So you have like a cold bottle inside your blanket. I didn't like. I prefer this. I know they're not like, you know, environment friendly that much, but once in a while it's great to spoil yourself. So I cover the bed. I cover what you can use to warm up yourself. I have a nice big pair of socks. It's so worth it. And also sleep with like a bunch of clothes on. I still, to this day in the winter, sleep with a pair of warm leggings and a long sleeve. When I was sleeping in my car, when it was really cold, I was also sleeping with a hoodie on. It just makes things like way warmer. So don't be shy of adding extra extra clothes to keep yourself warm. So other little trick to keep yourself warm is when you drive, move all your blanket, put that upside down, so when the front heat is on, it can warm up this area a little bit. Obviously in the van like it is right now, it's hard to bring any warm air from to the back, but if you are living in a car, this is a trick that I was used to do all the time. And you can also put your PG and all this so it doesn't get cold in the front when you're driving. So you have a nice warm PJ before good bed. So like I said, still to this day, even if I have 2 AGM battery, right now my electrical is not the greatest and I still use all those little tricks. I'm not cold at night under all my blanket. Right now with my electrical, I just turn it on, the heater right before going to bed, make the whole place nice and warm, shut that out, go to bed, so I have a nice warm blanket. This is a little bit the system currently we're having. And I think it can happen to all of you that your electrical doesn't work in the middle of like super cold weather. It always seems to happen that time for some reason. So you can have like extra tip to keep you warm and not be worried. And like I said, if you are living in your car, if you are short on money because you live in your car, I totally know how you feel if it's your first winter. Obviously I don't know your area, I don't know how cold it is, but those tricks should help you at least a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed. This was just a tip video, it's not a really day-to-day life. I know those questions were asked a lot, so I wanted to cover this and give you some of those tips that I cover and that I use in the past 3 years and I'm still using them. So if you do have more little trick all to keep you warm in the winter, it's hard for me to put them all in one video. I made already 2 videos about this subject that I'm gonna leave in the description so you can get even more tips. But if you do have more tips, put them in the description so we can all help each other. So I hope you enjoy. Keep warm this winter and I will see you soon. I'm gonna leave you with Kitty because I know you want to see Kitty. Hey Kitty, anything you want to add? Oh, you keep yourself warm. Stretch. Yeah. You have a big winter jacket on you. You're good. You're not cold, eh? Want to go outside, I presume? Yeah. Alright, you have to say bye to everyone. That's it? That must be a bye. Alright guys, see you in the next one.